Yes, yes, y'all, and it don't stop. Back with another live. The marathon continues, keeping the streak going. I've been doing so many lives recently, and I'm loving the community that we've been growing. I'm loving the consistency. So let's try and keep this thing going, right? Already got 4 people. What's up, D9? What's up, Ishan? Let's waste no time exchanging pleasantries. And let's get to the nitty gritty. What you guys want to talk about? I'll give you a little health update in the meantime. So, started antibiotics this morning. As you guys know, I'm dealing with an infection on my jaw. What's up, James? Yeah, so started antibiotics this morning. Gonna be on it for 10 days. Definitely, it's crazy how the infection, how it affects your overall energy and strength. Definitely experiencing that right now. And I'm sure the antibiotics are not going to help, but it is what it is. You got to get through it. Got to get through it. Got to keep on pushing. And the best way to make it through the day is by being productive, by doing things, not by just sitting by and watching the clock. As I await your questions, I just want to say that I'm still taking on new clients. I just got done talking to a new client, Death. Shout out to her. Shout out to the UK. Lovely, lovely woman. Had a great first session. Very excited about her and her trajectory. So I can't wait to see how that's gonna evolve. In the meantime, if people are out there who are trying to lose weight or try to get out of a toxic relationship or move on from a breakup or move to a different country, start a new career, all of those things, I'm right here to help you with that. My email is lorenz.dries@gmail.com. That's it right there. So hit me up if you want to turn this thing around. In the meantime, we got 11 shy people. Datikan Oskan, shout out to Turkey. Your general health as well, right? You look good. Yeah, general health is good. Just trying to get this infection cleared out. So what you see right here is this opens up all the time, right? And just pus comes streaming out. And then this was really big yesterday. It is what it is. It's got to heal. What's up, Ben? Yeah. Everyday pain and discomfort is just something that obviously you don't get used to it, but you do get, like, you do learn how to live with it, and you do learn how to, like, work around it. I had to, because I've been dealing with things like this since, yeah, for the last 8 years. I'm not that talkative today, so unless you guys start asking me some good questions, I'm not going to be in here freestyling a bunch of content. Just being honest. Yesterday was a great stream. If you haven't checked out yesterday's stream called I had a new infection, I think that's what it's called. You should definitely check that one out. I had great energy. Mm, great collaborative effort from me and you guys. I was very pleased with that one. But you're only as good as your last performance, so we're back at it, back out here. Also for the people, how finally, Chris, how is the training coming along? Dude, I'm trying to do what I can, really. So gyms have been closed for like 20 years. That's how it feels. So I don't have access to a squat rack. All I have is like a bench in my parents' basement, but the way it's set up, like I have to go either super wide grip or like literally close grip bench press because the two like poles on which the whole construction is built on is right where I would normally, you know, take it. So yeah, I mean, I've just been trying to make it work, but my body is nowhere near where it used to be in terms of like the way it looks. I'm running a lot, running, hiking a lot every single day. Um, it gets boring, but it is what it is. It's better than nothing. I'm just trying to hang around. I understand I'm not gonna get in my best shape by not having access to a real gym, but I'm just trying to hang around. So the moment gyms open up, I'll be back up there in like a month and a half. So just yesterday, I did a bunch of calisthenics. I did a lot of pull-ups, forehand and underhand, leg raises. But yeah, that's about it. I'm happy with my running though. I'm running great. And then I'm just waiting on Belgium to start heating up. It's April 15th and it still feels like January. It's still cold. When I see you, sir, I think life is beautiful. Thank you, man. Chris, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Got an awesome V taper. I can't complain. Good delts. Good delts and narrow hips and being tall. Yeah, that's my strong suit, my V taper for sure. Stars on Mars. I just got off work. Working for the state is easy game. I'm happy for you, my man. I'm happy for you. Also, shout out to my Twitch viewers. If you're watching this from Twitch, or if you want to watch this on Twitch, you can find me on there as Wounded Viking. Stars on Mars. What do you do for the state? D9. I've been dealing with a lot of unmotivated feelings lately. It just feels like such a grind. Any advice? Man, I think a lot of people have been experiencing that feeling, things feeling like a grind because we're just stuck in this like um, eternal loop, right? There's no difference between weekend and weekdays. But what I would tell you is to really like start developing like a short-term mindset in terms of like understanding that every day is a new opportunity to have a good day. And you shouldn't think too far ahead. Don't think about next week. Don't think about next month. Just every day, basically strive to have a good day. Now, understand that that's not always going to happen. That's not always going to work. And there is no shame in sometimes accepting defeat and just pissing the day away. All I can, all you can do, and all I ask of you is that you try again the next day. Every day is an opportunity to do better, you know? So just hang in there, man. Look at me. I've been doing this YouTube thing for so many years. If I had a dollar for every time that I wanted to quit, man, I'd be a millionaire by now. So it's just like, man, keep in mind that you're not gonna come out on top because you were the best. You're gonna come out on top because you didn't quit. That's all you need to do. Don't quit. Stars on Mars. I can relate a lot to your pain and suffering, even though we have a different life story. Life has hurt us. As far as I see it, there's only one way to move forward and onwards. Yeah. Also, man, don't chase happiness. This is something I really been preaching a lot lately. Don't convince yourself or make happiness the goal all the time. Like that's really a bad and toxic mentality. That's a negative mentality on its own because it's unattainable. It's not realistic. You have to learn how to be able to survive when things are just okay. It doesn't always have to be great. This is not a Disney movie. and social media and all these things have made you believe that every day has to be special. Like, no, it's okay to have boring, uneventful days. You're in the security business. That's what's up. Hey, Viking, I've been dealing with a condition most of my life. Some days are better than others. How do I deal with the days where I feel frustrated by it and I feel like I'll never be happy? Um, Again, then, like what I just said, basically, don't be too proud to accept defeat. Like my thing, what I always tell people is, not every day has to be a victory. Not every day has to be an improvement. Sometimes it's okay to just hold the line, because it all comes down to what do you have, what do you have in the tank. We're not always going to have that energy to kill it every day. On those days, you just got to try to hold the line. Try, if you can make it through that day without regressing, that's a good day. Sometimes all you need to do is just not give in, not give up terrain. Hold the line, man. So when you have the day where you feel so frustrated and you feel like you'll never be happy, just take the day off. Literally, that's okay. Next morning, new opportunity. Tutorial slave. Are there any other fictional characters other than Patrick Bateman that have inspired you to some extent? Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Um, for example, I mean, I've always liked Batman, but I wouldn't say he inspired me. But I do like. I think it's a cool character. Um, I like Thanos. I got hit to him quite recently. I never watched the Avenger movies, but I like Thanos, man. I like how he has this like side where he thinks he has a good, like, he's trying to do what's right. Um, any other fictional characters that have inspired me? Nothing. Oh no, man! Of course, Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I like him a lot. I like the villains a lot, right? Why did your audience dislike my bringing up the importance of historical accuracy? I don't know, man. You gotta ask my audience. I don't know. Stars on Mars. I don't think we should chase happiness. However, there is sense in finding out who your authentic raw self is. Healing your traumas will bring you closer to your authentic self. Yeah, but at the same time, if healing your traumas means constantly rehashing your traumas, pondering on your traumas, talking about your traumas, then that kind of like defeats the purpose, in my opinion. It's like traumas. I think we went from not caring about our traumas at all and not caring about mental health at all to now just like caring so much and um, aiming using so much energy on the traumas that it's kind of like we sometimes make things unnecessarily bigger than they have to be. Like I really like I have a bunch of stuff that frustrates me day to day, but my cancer is like I had to make peace with that a long time ago because I realized that if I didn't make peace with what would happen to me, it would consume me for the rest of my life. I would always wonder, what if, what if, what if? So at some point, you really just have to like take your loss and let go. Some traumas cannot be, you know, not all traumas have to have a beautiful outcome or like have to mean something. Like bad shit happens to good people and good shit happens to bad people. And sometimes it just is what it is. Accept the randomness of that. And this is something that I also talk about a lot, where it's like these things that we do and these things that happen to us, we think they're so important, but really they're quite meaningless in the big picture. And I feel like there's two ways that you can deal with the meaninglessness of life, and in one way you can let it depress you because you feel like, oh, nothing I'm doing is matters, right? So why should I even try and bother? Well, I would flip that and I would say, if nothing matters in your life, or just in the grand scheme of things, then why not go for the most like exciting and fun option? Like, why play it safe? When's the last time that you talked about someone who was a loser in the 1920s? You know what I'm saying? When was the last time you talked about someone that was a winner in the 1920s who had a successful life? Like, we're all just like, we're vastly overestimating our importance in the current time that we're in, and we're living in this little hyperbole where the opinions of our families and friends are and colleagues are so magnified. Like, that's our world. I think that's why a lot of older people, like I've been talking to a lot of older people, and they really share something. Like, often they have a very similar mindset to very young people, like 5 years old. Because when you're old and a bunch of the people that you used to care so much about and their opinions have died, or they've gotten Alzheimer's and have now been reduced to just, zombies basically. I think that's when you figure out, like, it doesn't really matter, like, once your repeaters start dying off and stuff. Does that make sense? Maybe inspired was a poor choice of words. Let's go with, in what kinds of characters do you see yourself reflected? Could be historical figures as well. I mean, I always used to call myself the Belgian Hercules. That's more because I'm vain and I got long hair. It's not that I feel like I'm a Hercules. Um, I always like Two Face and Batman for obvious reasons. Well, my original social media name, even on YouTube, was the real Harvey Dent. Like, I was the real Two Face. I felt like that was a cool gimmick, and I was like, nah, that's lame. And ironically enough, I ended up going with Big Boy Benzo after that for like 3 years. Imagine thinking that the real life Harvey Dent is lame and then thinking that Big Boy Benzo is a great idea. Crazy, right? Viking, when it comes to mental health, do you think things have become tougher in some ways, or that people have become weaker in dealing with things? I don't think life has gotten tougher. I don't think so. Like, that's not the case. I think it's just life has gotten more. There's more in everything. There's so much noise, so much clutter, and it just keeps coming at you. Mm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like a lot of people are just drowning in options. There's too many options. It's like, you can be whatever you want to be, and then it's like, oh shit. So how do I pick one? How can I learn to just let go of my problems? It sounds straightforward in principle, but actually doing it seems very difficult. I mean, I would, if I were you, man, I would definitely look into yoga, look into meditation, and just like finding that peace from within. Of course, you can always hire me as well. This is what I do with people. I talk them through it. I walk them through it. So if you're interested in that, you can email me, lorenz.breeze@gmail.com, for private coaching where we can do this, what we're doing right now on a personal basis. But yeah, I can't give you like a cookie cutter answer where it's like, oh, this is how you learn how to let go of your problems. Like, we would have to get a little bit deeper than that. Hercules doesn't quite fit the bill, seeing as how your English is far superior to that of Arnold. Huh. Yeah, I never saw those Hercules movies. I was talking about, like, I just used to, I saw the Hercules show. Remember, with the American actor? And he also did cameos with Xena, the warrior princess. That was my Hercules. Harvey Dent is a top choice. Hercules, it seems you are afraid of showing weakness. Um, yeah, but what fictional character has weakness? They were asking me to compare myself to a fictional character, so I can't really come up with a weak fictional character from the top of my head. Kevin Sorbo, cool guy. Oh, okay, yeah, that's him, right. I have once asked you about men going their own way a year ago. Is it the same perspective towards it? I mean, as I've reiterated many times already, I don't necessarily have a huge beef with men going their own way. my beef is with certain content creators or many NGTOW content creators that just like play and on the sentiments and feelings of their audience. Like they know exactly what they want to hear, and they just use that so well. Um, you know, I just saw this clip from like Kevin Samuels. Is that his name? Kevin Samuels. He's blowing up. He's like just taking over the internet by storm. Where they basically got these girls from OnlyFans on a podcast, and then he like verbally destroys them. I might do a reaction video on that one. Like for sure, they have really good points, and they're right about many things. But then the way it's so strategic, who they invite, who the girls are, how they handle it, and they just kind of like they're really playing towards what many single frustrated men are feeling and thinking. Like when they give an example, it's always about like shorter guys and stuff like that, or guys who are balding, things like that. So it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. A lot of fictional characters have weakness. That's what the hero's journey is all about, overcoming your weakness. Well, I said Hercules. What's wrong with that? He has weakness too. He killed his own family. He killed his own wife. So how is that being afraid to show weakness? But yeah, I don't really. That's always a weird question to me when they ask me like, who do you idolize? I don't really, you know, like I love American Psycho. I love that character, but it's not like I idolize him. Obviously, I just think he's a cool character to watch in that movie. I'm having a hard time coming up with a character of whom I think like, wow, that's what I would want to be. Just never really had that. I think. I mean, I used to look up to Dennis Rodman, the basketball player, but that was because I thought he looked cool. So yeah. All right, guys. By the way, let's get some thumbs up in here. Let's go. Don't be shy. Shout out to Liz the Wiz, by the way, who followed me on Twitch. Appreciate that. It's almost the same as answering Superman. Well, man, wait, what could I tell you? Like you're like I answered the question honestly. If you think that I'm pragmatically choosing Hercules because it makes me look cool, then that's fine. Then I have nothing to prove or nothing to hide. I just literally always I refer to myself jokingly many times as Hercules. Like I have a lot of self. I like to make fun of myself. I give myself nicknames and over the top just because of the hair. That's it. That's it. It's not like I'm walking around thinking I'm Hercules. Like check 1 2. How good is the average Belgian education? Did you learn Latin or classical Greek at school? Well, on average, the Belgian education is very high, very good. Um, I no, we don't like Latin and ancient Greek is not standardly included. But I did learn Latin for 2 years, and then I got my ass kicked all the way down, looking 100 times better after the surgery. Thank you. And we're not even close to being done yet. Ironically, Hercules had to use his wits more often than raw strength to overcome obstacles in Greek mythology. Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite um, stories concerning Hercules in Greek mythology is when he's doing I think it's like he has to do 10, basically, he has to do 10 missions, right? And one of them is he has to clean out the stable of this ancient king or whatever. And the guy has like, 5,000 horses and bulls or whatever. So it's like a huge stable filled with bullshit. And basically it's impossible to clean out. But then Hercules rearranges the path of a nearby river so it goes through the stable and just flushes the whole thing. That's one that I really like, that story. Can you read Caesar? No, I didn't even know Caesar was a language, man. Have you gotten any negative comments or abuse from people in recent times? I mean, yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, dude, I got 51,000 subscribers. I get negative comments on a daily. It's normal, right? Like people just come in and talk shit or make fun. Most of the time, it doesn't really bother me. Doesn't bother me. I had a guy come on here on this live, and he was making fake profiles and stuff of people that I knew in real life. He was pretending to be my ex-girlfriend and things like that. So that was creative, but didn't bother me. No, I think I've gotten like I'm pretty well off in the department. It's like I don't really get that much hate in general. You know Greek mythology better than me. I'm Greek. Well, that's only one of many stories I can tell you. I love Greek mythology. I just love it. I love it. It's so interesting and so cool. I love the. I once had this tattoo idea. I don't have a tattoo, but every now and then I get this idea that I should get a tattoo. And I was thinking about getting a tattoo of the guy that was. So basically, there was a guy that gave fire to the people. So he's only the gods had fire on Mount Olympus, and he stole the fire and he gave it to the people. And then, of course, they had to punish him, right? So he was chained to a rock in some ravine, in some valley, whatever. And every night, or yeah, I guess every night or every dinner, every day at 6 p.m., a vulture would come and eat his liver while he was chained to a rock alive. So it would eat out his liver, and every morning his liver would grow back, and so every day he would have to go undergo that torment. And I think Hercules might have killed that bird too. From the wedge. I'm gonna translate it in English, right? If the gyms in Belgium open up again for the first time, any tips or things that I have to follow as a routine? Do the compound lifts. That means do deadlifts, do squats, and do bench press. Dus ik weet niet of je Engels spreekt, maar wat ik wil zeggen is, concentreer je niet te veel op isolatieoefeningen. Deadlifts, squats, and bench press. That's a major mistake that I made. I didn't deadlift for many years. I just didn't feel like it was safe. I followed my common sense. And I still don't believe in deadlifting too heavy, but I should have deadlifted sooner, and I would have had the better core by now. You took 2 years of Latin. Second year Latin students read Caesar's Gallic War. Do you think I was referring to a language called Caesar? You know what annoys me about you, Francesco? And you've been on this live like at least 50 times. You are always basically you're consistently trying to catch me lying or catch me saying something that is not true, and it's just like you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Like second year Latin students read Kaiser's Gallic Wars. First of all, my second year getting Latin, I was literally 13 years old. That's more than 20 years ago. Do you think that I would still know what the fuck we read, what I read 20 years ago as a 13-year-old? Second of all, how the fuck do you know what Belgian Latin students have to read in their second year? Like, could it possibly be that maybe, just maybe, in Belgium they don't make us read the Caesar's Gallic Wars? Has that thought occurred to you? And then third of all, why would I lie about something so stupid? Like, yeah, I used to get Latin, but really I didn't. Like, yeah, I got 2 years of Latin, and then I flunked super hard, like I said, and I fell all the way down, man. I ended up in a like I flunked like 3 years in a row after that because I was a shitty student. It's just funny that you always seem to think that you got me. The Viking is an imposter. Like, no, man, come on. You kind of admired him for trolling. Yeah, I did. The guy that was being creative, I felt like he did a good job. Do you think there's any value in what pickup artists teach? No. No, pickup artistry for me is lame. Like, the girl doesn't like you. You're literally pickup artistry is nothing more than manipulating girls into liking you. Imagine, like, intentionally saying things that you know will hurt a girl just to get her attention because, ooh, you're interesting. That's lame. That's for suckers. And that's never gonna get you any results in the long run. No one is gonna stay with you because of some witty punchline. So I have no respect for the pickup artists. Prometheus, that was him, right? Do you feel like the old you died after you had to go through the cancer process? I mean, for sure, but I was 24 when I got my cancer. Well, I was 22 actually, but 24 when I had my amputation. It, yeah, the old me died, but also I went from, between 24 and 32. You changed so much, so much, so much. Like I always would have changed, but sure, the old me died. What's up, Nathan? Whoa, there have been 114 of these already. Even more, man. Kalen, do you want to have kids? Yeah, maybe someday. It's not currently though. Not in the next couple of years, but someday perhaps. I would have to get a bunch of shit sorted out though. Like, I'm a firm believer in having your life sorted and having all your, how do you say that, having everything in place before you start with kids. Francesco means well. He's trying to keep you on your toes so your critical thinking doesn't go limp over time. I applaud his altruism. Dude, you can keep me on your toes all you want, but I can tell when someone is trying to corner me and try to catch me with something, and I'm not even. Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. I'm not a liar. I'm many things, and I'm not a liar. So for me, it's like that's just like chill with that. Have you tried psychological alchemy? No. It's been a while. Yes, Nathan. Francesco. It's a standard curriculum. But dude, do you really? This is what I mean. You say things like they are fact, and it's just like, can you tell me? You're just acting like there is a standard curriculum for Latin in the entire world. Like, people in Belgium are following the same Latin curriculum for people in Australia, in Japan, in Costa Rica, in Canada. I don't think so. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't. That shit doesn't sound like something that's feasible to begin with. Education doesn't work that way. If you don't like my question, the problem is on you. No, I don't have a problem, man. I'm just gonna tell you what I think. I learned push pull from pickup artists, which works. Some of the knowledge is good, dude. Pickup artists content, it works. It does work, sure. That's not what I'm saying. Like, yes, manipulating people work. It works to manipulate people. It pays off. But is that something you want? Is that something, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the what's the point? It's literally like, pickup artistry is literally teaching yourself not to be yourself and to just use psychology and manipulation to basically psychologically bully someone into finding you interesting and attractive. The problem with that is, at some point, you're going to have to put the punchlines down. You're actually going to have to lower your defenses and actually be a real human being, and you're going to have to expose yourself. And yeah, then what? You see what I'm saying? All of a sudden, oh shit, now I don't have anything witty to say. You got to run back to the YouTube channel from the Grandmaster. And so pickup artistry is just another side effect of people and men overvaluing just women, sex, everything. Like, when you're single, you have such tunnel vision on these things. You really think like that's the only thing that matters in life. Happens to all of us. You just feel like that's going to solve everything in your life, and that's the only thing that matters. And life is a lot more than that, you know. Like, you're going to have new issues when you when you obtain those things. There's plenty of guys who are getting laid every day with like Dan Bilzerian. Let's use Dan Bilzerian. Is there anyone out here on here who thinks that Dan Bilzerian is happy? Do you really think that he wakes up and is like, yeah, I'm happy? Like, he looks miserable to me, and he's got everything that we think men want, but he doesn't look like a happy person at all. Viking can fight his own battles. Also, this basically equates to asking critical moviegoers to go make their own movie if they don't like this one. I'm not saying that no one is allowed to ask questions. Are you gonna get the chicken?
Yeah. You want to go?
If you give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there is going to be queue?
I mean, let's just say this now. I'll give me 10 more minutes and I'll come with you. Yeah, I got no issues with it. I'm just gonna give you my opinion as well. What's PUA? Pick up artist. Gashi, just came here to show some love, respect you and what you've done. Thank you. No, he's jacked and blessed with a mystical beard. So yeah, Dan is down to be happy. I don't think you believe that. I don't really think you believe that at all. If he was happy, then he wouldn't feel the need to. Well, basically, he's already been proven a liar about most of the things. Um, I think if you're constantly surrounded by yes men and prostitutes, life sucks. It just sucks. What's your motive to work out? Health, look good, and the general understanding of the fact that the only thing that is our body. Our body is the one thing that I can't take away in most situations. So I'm always going to invest in my body. Like that's something that I feel is important. I feel good when I look in the mirror. I like the way I look. So that's what does it for me. Yeah, self love, more confidence, endorphins, structure, routine. I love working out. I'll never stop. Dan is a douche and isn't a good man. Obviously, he's miserable. I was being how do you say that? The shape, the shissus, that shissus. Ah man, messed that one up. And I know what it means. Um, yeah, I don't. I can't tell if you're being a little bit sarcastic or not when you're typing. So I don't know. Do you believe he actually made that money in poker? No, he didn't. Of course not. Are you ignoring this? I've asked you a few days if you dislike my questions, and you replied they're okay. Now you lose your cool, but it's suddenly all my fault. No, I haven't lost my cool. I'm just telling you that. Oh, there's really nothing to talk about, man. I don't mind your questions. I don't. Too many roids for them. Andrew Briggs has got a lot of it from his inheritance. Factious. Fact. Fat. Facetious. I feel like I'm so stupid. Facetious. 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 I'm officially dumb as rocks. What caused you to keep going? Um, uh, the rationality, understanding that the alternative is not better than keeping on going. Better to keep going. Always. Facetious. 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 It's so hard with my lip to say that. So hard. Facetious. I think I got it. What games do you play? None. The game of life, my friend. Speaking of which, let's get some thumbs up going. I know we got at least 6 people in here who haven't hit the thumbs up yet. Let's get to 31. Let's go. Come on. Don't be shy. 26. Let's get to 27. Come on. Why you such a punk bitch? Because that's all I know how to be, man. I just happen to be a punk bitch. Guys, I'm on the last 5 minutes because I gotta go to the market, get some grub. I think the thumb down is from Dan. If only Dan would watch my lives, that would be great. I'm gonna call this live my opinion on Dan Bilzerian and my opinion on pickup artists. Why why pickup artists suck or something like that. Do you agree with what Jordan Peterson says? Sure, not all, but a lot. Yeah. If you feel cornered, does it mean other people have bad intentions? Um, Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depends on the situation. Oh, nice. Thank you, guys. We got to 30 likes. Appreciate that. I'm definitely aiming to keep these live sessions consistently. What's up, Alexandra? Thoughts on the coach Red Pill? He's entertaining. He's entertaining. He knows how to tell a story. He's a little bit extreme for my liking, but he knows how to tell a story. I like his style, but you need FP. You need to smoke a blunt and chill. Thank you, Liz and Leon. Guys, before I go, one more time, if you want to turn your life around, lose weight, get out of the toxic relationship, overcome your addiction, move to a different country, switch careers, you can talk to me. We can do this on a personal basis. I'm taking on new clients. Lorenz.dries@gmail.com. It's right there in the chat box. That's my email. Send me an email if you want to change some things. You don't deserve negativity. Thank you, Lady Michael Jackson. Congratulations, Alexandra. I got a job at a greenhouse. That's beautiful. That's an awesome job, too. Man, if I was working at a greenhouse, I know what I would be doing all day. I'm thinking about hiring you. Well, Alexandra, you can. Just send me an email. We can make it happen. Now that you got a new job, you got a lot of loot. The more I listen to Jordan Peterson, the more it's clear he doesn't know what he's talking about. For example, in his debate against Zizek, it was clear Peterson doesn't know about Marxism. I gotta admit that I haven't gotten this deep in his content. Yeah, that's I don't know. Sounds like you make a good point. I've only seen I've seen the podcast with him on Joe Rogan, and I saw the GQ interview with him. He's arrogant as hell, but I like him. Have you ever thought about speaking, motivational speaking? Yeah, I do all the time. Well, before Corona hit, I go to speak in high schools, hospitals, stuff like that. I need help to take the next step, put my weight loss and working out. Send me an email, Alexandra. And that goes for anyone else too. If you want to take the next step in something or take the first step, hit me up, lorenz.dries@gmail.com. Guys, that's it for today. I got to run now. Don't want to make this too long. I had a great time as usual. Thank you so much for being here. Even you, Francisco. All right. Thank you. I'll be back soon. Stay safe.